In the previous video, we discussed the conquests of Sultan Murad II. There are certain topics in Islamic history that continue to spark debates even centuries later. The personality of Sultan Muhammad II is one such topic. Before delving into his remarkable conquest, we will shed light on some of his controversial decisions. Our goal is simply to seek the truth and learn from it. Dear friends, Sultan Muhammad II, also known as Muhammad the Conqueror, was the one who conquered Constantinople.
عن عبد الله بن بشر قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: أول جيش من أمتي يغزون مدينة قيصر مغفور لهم.
Sahih al-Bukhari, Hadith number 2924. Translation: Abdullah ibn Bishr reported that the Prophet Muhammad said, "The first army from my ummah that attacks the city of Caesar, Constantinople, will be forgiven." Reference: Sahih al-Bukhari, Book of Jihad and Expeditions, Chapter, The Conquest of the City of Rome. Explanation of the first expedition. This hadith mentions the first army that will attack Constantinople. Historically, the first major expedition towards Constantinople was sent during the reign of the Umayyad Caliph Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. This army was led by Yazid ibn Muawiyah and included several revered companions of the Prophet. Among them was Hazrat Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, who was around 80 years old at that time. Hazrat Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, passed away during this campaign near the walls of Constantinople, and his grave is still located near the city's fortification.
لتفتحن القسطنطينية فلنعم الأمير أميرها ولنعم الجيش ذلك الجيش.
Musnad Ahmad 23462, Al-Mustadrak al-Hakim, 8300. Translation: Indeed, Constantinople will be conquered. How excellent will its commander be, and how excellent will that army be. Reference: Musnad Ahmad, Al-Mustadrak al-Hakim. Al-Hakim graded it as Sahih al-Isnad. Authenticity of the Hadith. Imam al-Hakim classified the Hadith as Sahih al-Isnad. Imam al-Dahabi agreed with al-Hakim's classification. Imam al-Albani also declared the Hadith as Sahih. Some scholars have graded this Hadith as Hasan, but overall, it is widely accepted as authentic. Muslim commanders who attempted to conquer Constantinople. Yazid ibn Muawiyah, 49 AH, 669 CE. The first army that attacked Constantinople, as referenced in the Hadith. The first army of my ummah to attack the city of Caesar will be forgiven. Bukhari and Muslim was led by Yazid ibn Muawiyah. Scholarly opinions on Yazid. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal maintained neutrality, neither cursing nor praising Yazid, preferring silence on the matter. Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik condemned Yazid, labeling him a tyrant. Imam ibn al-Jawzi even declared that cursing Yazid was permissible due to the atrocities committed during and after the tragedy of Karbala. Most scholars agree that the Hadith praises the collective army and not every individual member. Therefore, Yazid is not directly included in the glad tidings of forgiveness, especially considering his later actions, such as the incident of Karbala and the attack on Medina. Sulayman ibn Abd al-Malik, 97 AH, 716 CE. During the Umayyad era, Sulayman ibn Abd al-Malik launched an attack on Constantinople, but the city remained unconquered. Harun al-Rashid, 165 AH, 781 CE. The Abbasid Caliph Harun al-Rashid also led a campaign against Constantinople but failed to capture it. Caliph al-Mahdi Billah, 178 AH, 794 CE. Another Abbasid caliph who sent forces towards Constantinople but could not secure victory. Sultan Mehmed II, 857 AH, 1453 CE. Finally, Sultan Muhammad II, known as Mehmed the Conqueror, succeeded in capturing Constantinople. Sultan Muhammad II's controversial law. After consolidating power, Sultan Muhammad II enacted a controversial law known as Qanunnameh, the law book, which permitted the execution of royal siblings to prevent civil wars over succession. This brings us to a critical question. When the hadith praises the best commander and the best army, does it refer solely to the military success, or does it also encompass righteousness, justice, and piety? Scholarly interpretations of the hadith. Literal interpretation. Many scholars take the hadith at face value, suggesting that the best commander simply refers to the one who achieves the conquest, Sultan Muhammad II. Some scholars argue that the title of the best commander should be reserved for someone who exemplifies not just military skill but also high moral standards, like Abu Bakr al-Siddiq Ra. This raises the dilemma: can a leader who ordered the killing of his own siblings for political stability truly be considered the best commander? The ethical debate over fratricide. Sultan Muhammad II's law of fratricide was intended to prevent bloody civil wars that often followed the accession of new sultans. However, many scholars viewed this law as deeply troubling.
من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا.
Surah Al-Ma'idah, Ayah 32. Translation. Whoever kills a person without legal cause for murder or corruption in the land, it will be as if he killed all of mankind. And whoever saves a life, it will be as if he saved all of mankind. This verse emphasizes the sanctity of life and that taking a life without just cause is a grave sin. The act of fratricide, lacking any Sharia-based justification, contradicts this Quranic principle. The killing of brothers was without any Sharia justification, which goes against the principles of the Quran and Hadith. The title of the best leader should be for someone who upholds justice and human rights. The law of fratricide is seen as a cruel act and does not align with such a prestigious title. Some scholars strongly opposed this law, stating that such actions contradict Islamic principle. According to these scholars, the title of the best leader in the Hadith is not only based on achieving victory but also on moral standards. Key question: was the glad tidings of the conquest solely tied to political success, or was moral integrity equally important? Can a ruler who violates the boundaries of justice truly meet the criteria of the best leader mentioned in the Hadith?
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: أقتلته بعد أن قال لا إله إلا الله؟ قال أسامة: قلت: يا رسول الله إنه كان يتقي بها، فقال: أقتلته بعد أن قال لا إله إلا الله؟ فما زال يكررها حتى تمنيت أني لم أكن أسلمت قبل ذلك اليوم.
Sahih al-Bukhari, Hadith 4269. Translation. The Messenger of Allah said to Usama bin Zayd, "Did you kill him after he said La ilaha illallah?" Usama replied, "O Messenger of Allah, he only said it to save his life." The Prophet kept repeating, "Did you kill him after he said La ilaha illallah?" Until I, Usama, wished I had not embraced Islam before that day, so that my mistake could be forgiven. The killing of brothers was without any Sharia justification, which was against the principles of the Quran and Hadith. The title of the best leader should be for a person who upholds justice, fairness, and human rights. The law of killing brothers is seen as a cruel act, and it does not align with this title. Some scholars strongly opposed this law and said that such an act is against Islamic principles. According to these scholars, the title of the best leader in the Hadith is not solely dependent on conquest but also on moral standards. Was the glad tidings of conquest conditional only on political success, or was the moral standard also important? Can a ruler who violates the limits of justice and fairness meet the criteria of the best leader given in the Hadith? Abu al-Ghadiya and the martyrdom of Amr. Although Abu al-Ghadiya was part of the Bay'a al-Ridwan, about which Allah stated in the Quran. Surah Al-Fath 48:18.
لقد رضي الله عن المؤمنين إذ يبايعونك تحت الشجرة.
Translation. Indeed, Allah was pleased with the believers when they pledged allegiance to you under the tree. Abu al-Ghadiya was included in the Bay'a al-Ridwan, and he is referred to as a Sahabi. Now, there is a hadith. Hadith on Bay'a al-Ridwan.
عن جابر بن عبد الله رضي الله عنه قال: كنا يوم الحديبية 1400 فبايعناه، وعمر آخذ بيده تحت الشجرة، وهي الشجرة التي قال الله فيها: لقد رضي الله عن المؤمنين إذ يبايعونك تحت الشجرة.
Sahih al-Bukhari 4154. Translation. Habir bin Abdullah narrated. On the day of Hudaybiyah, we were 1,400 people, and we pledged allegiance to the Prophet. At that time, Umar was holding the hand of the Prophet under the tree. This is the same tree about which Allah said, "Indeed, Allah was pleased with the believers when they pledged allegiance to you under the tree." Al-Fath 18. Although Abu al-Ghadiya was included in Bay'a al-Ridwan, according to the hadith of the Prophet, the group that killed Amr was the rebellious group. Hadith on Amar's martyrdom.
عن علي قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إن عمارا تقتله الفئة الباغية، وآخر شربة شربها عمار لبن، وإن في الجنة لبنا له خير منه، وقاتل عمار وسالبه في النار.
Musnad Ahmad 651, Al-Tabarani al-Kabir. Translation. Ali narrated that the Messenger of Allah said, "Ammar will be killed by the rebellious group, and his last drink will be milk. And in paradise, there is milk for him better than this. The one who kills Ammar and the one who loots his belongings will be in hell." This hadith clearly states that the person who kills Ammar and the one who loots his belongings, both will be in hell. Ammar was fighting on the side of Ali in the Battle of Siffin. The historical narrations mention that the one who killed Ammar was Abu al-Ghadiya al-Fazari. Abu al-Ghadiya al-Fazari was part of Muawiyah's army and was fighting in the Battle of Siffin. The interpretation of Muawiyah regarding the hadith. Muawiyah interpreted the hadith by saying, "We did not kill Ammar. Rather, those who brought him to the battlefield caused his death." However, this hadith became a clear proof that Ali was on the truth. The lesson from this hadith. This hadith demonstrates that even if someone has apparent virtue, such as participating in Bay'a al-Ridwan, if they later commit a major sin or mistake, they can still be held accountable for their actions. Similarly, Sultan Muhammad's conquests stand on their own, but his law of killing his brothers raises doubts about his character. The fate of all these individuals is best known only to Allah. If the Prophet forbade killing anyone without proof even during battle, then how can the killing of innocent brothers in peaceful times be justified? If Sultan Muhammad the Conqueror had chosen to imprison his brothers or send them somewhere they wouldn't pose a political threat, he could have avoided violating Islamic principles. Alternative solutions to fratricide. Another solution could have been introducing a law that abolished hereditary rule and promoted the Shura consultative system, similar to the era of the rightly guided caliphs. Scholars like Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah consistently spoke against injustice and unlawful killings. Modern scholars such as Dr. Yasser Qadi and Mufti Taqi Usmani have also declared this law contrary to Islamic principles. Is the hadith authentic or misunderstood? This raises a critical question. If Sultan Muhammad II the Conqueror was truly the best leader foretold by the Prophet, why did he enact a law that contradicted the Quran and Sunnah? Or does this cast doubt on the authenticity of the hadith regarding the conquest of Constantinople? Is the hadith authentic, and can Sultan Muhammad's actions be interpreted differently? Or should the authenticity of the hadith be re-examined? How should we view this part of history? How do you think we should understand this complex aspect of history? Share your valuable thoughts in the comments. In the next video, we will discuss the conquests of Sultan Muhammad II. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for the next part.